It's one high. It's a deep. It is out of here. 7:56. Bond stands alone. Now Booker with Tucker on him. Throws it up for 8. Shot blocked by Antetokounmpo. What a block from Giannis.
17 seconds from Game 7 or from championship number 6. Jordan, open. Chicago with the lead.
Minute remaining. And they're putting Curry in the pick and roll, trying to get him on Irving. Irving and Curry, one-on-one. Irving puts it up. It's good. Kyrie Irving from downtown.
We're sending it in, Jerome. That's for damn sure.
Yes. What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Taproom Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Jordan. Stacks on stacks, lats. Joined as always with my man, Mr. Big Ballin' Ben Larson. What's going on tonight, Ben?
Not much, man. Just recovering from a long, crazy weekend. So it's good to be, getting back to the rituals, getting back to our Sunday night recordings, and man, loving life out here in California. How you doing?
Hell yeah, man. I'm doing good. Fucking UFC was great last night. One of the fucking best cards I've seen in a long time. Shout out to Yuri Prochazka. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but that was one of the best matches I've ever seen between Yuri and Glover last night. That was up there. That was a hell of a fucking fight. Sucks that one of those dudes had to lose because they both gave it their all.
Yeah, and it was 30 seconds left in the
30 seconds left. And he was gonna lose. He was losing that fight.
Yeah.
Like it was 50-50 going into the final round, and he was like, dude, Yuri was fucking toast, dude. Like he had no legs, he was gassed, bro, and Glover was taking control. Glover fucking messed up, went for a guillotine, slipped out, and fucking Yuri just kind of took control in the rest of the round, tapped him out. But that's how UFC goes, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, that's why UFC is so great, is because anything can happen in 10 seconds, dude. You know what I mean? But
agreed.
Man, anyone that watched that fight, that was a hell of a fight, man. And whoa, what a fun night, absolute fun weekend too with college baseball. Ben, shout out to your Stanford Cardinal, won today, 8-2 against UConn. And the game on Saturday night, I was telling you, man, I was up till fucking almost midnight watching it.
Yep.
Stanford down 13-6 going into the 9th inning, comes back within one run and almost tied it up. They hit 8 home runs in the game and lost.
Yeah.
That doesn't usually happen very often, but
no.
Man, awesome weekend. I'm actually very intrigued with College World Series this year, Ben. I've been a lot more tapped in than normal. Got the Oregon State game on right now. Oregon State up 1 in the top of the 9th. If they lose tonight, Auburn goes to the College World Series. So we gotta talk some College World Series sometime,
Yeah, absolutely. We'll do that next week for sure. When's it start? Do they get a break at all?
Yeah, it starts at the end of the week though. So I think it starts the end of the week. Thursday or Friday it starts. Maybe
we talk about it Wednesday then.
Yeah, because if Oregon State loses tonight, then every team is set except for Stanford and UConn, who will play tomorrow in the game 3. So
and Auburn, Oregon plays tomorrow if they go to a game 3 too.
If Oregon State
everything will be done
tonight.
Yeah, everything will be done by tomorrow to decide the seedings for.
But I gotta say, shout out to the Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
Huge win this weekend.
Before the Super Regional started, plus 7,000. So, what is that? 70-1 to win, or 700-1. I'm sorry, to win the
70. You're right.
Yeah, 70-1 to win the College World Series. They were plus 475 today against Tennessee. Came back and won the game 7-3, and are heading to the College World Series. Huge underdog. Awesome to see. In Tennessee, who basically everybody who watches college baseball, they were like, Tennessee's going to win it all. They're the best team, hands down.
No question,
And fucking Notre Dame took care of business. College baseball is crazy in general. Baseball is wild. We're going to talk about baseball later because there's a lot to talk about baseball.
I love these 3-game series too. I'm not going to lie.
In college?
Yeah.
Yeah. They're they're awesome. It sucks in like the because it's called the Super Regional last weekend, right? But like last weekend, and if there was an elimination game, they played the same day,
Oh wow.
like double header. So that was kind
Yeah.
of crazy. It sucks because I put 2 futures on 2 teams, Ben, before it all started. One was Stanford and one was UC Santa Barbara, and they both got matched up against each other. I was like, damn it,
Yeah, that's rough.
one of them is
Only
definitely
one is going ahead here.
one is definitely out.
Yeah.
But man, what a weekend, bro. I'm stoked to be here drinking some great beer. Just really excited for tonight, man. We got a great show planned.
Yes. So since you mentioned beer, let's go into the beer aspect of the podcast. We'd like to drink and review a couple beers per podcast. Usually it's going to be 2 beers a podcast each. We try to do some locals. We try to do some, from Tavour. We try to do some that our local bottle shops have. Just kind of try to mix things up, get you guys interested in really trying all 3 of those different kind of ranges of where you can get your beer. And we wanted this podcast to be like you're sitting at a bar drinking beers, talking about those beers and talking sports while we do it. I think we're on episode 109 right now, so it has been it's been a lot of beer going through, and it's also been a lot of support from Tavour. Got to say, go to Tavour.com or download the Tavour app. Use promo code Taproom when signing up. That's TAPROOM, and you get $10 off your first purchase of $25 and more. In most cases, that's 2 free beers. Unfortunately, neither of my beers tonight are going to be from Tavour, but I am going with the somewhat local route, about 45 minutes from me each way on these beers.
Are these the ones you got last weekend?
I got one of these last weekend, and then one I got this weekend. So cannot complain. Did spend some time at a brewery this weekend up in Walnut Creek, so cannot complain about that.
Very nice, very nice.
Yep.
Well, what are they, dude? Since you're already talking about them.
Yeah, I'll start with mine. The first one I'm going to do. This is one that I was up in Monterey last weekend, celebrating the other half's birthday, and got lunch at Dust Bowl Brewing Company. And I really like this beer. I really wanted to kind of go side by side with 805 Cerveza because it's another Mexican lager with lime. So this is Taco Truck with lime lager. It's a Mexican style lager coming in at 4.7%. And it is it's a quality beer. So I wanted to bring this one, and I wanted to get it with the 805, but unfortunately, or fortunately, I don't know how you go with it. I was able to go to another brewery, so I got another local beer going for tonight's show. So Taco Truck, lime lager. Let's see how it goes.
Man, I love 805. That's like my favorite, like, go-to beer. You know what I mean?
Well, the 805 Cerveza is, in my head, hands down better than the regular 805. So yeah, I am in love with that 805 Cerveza, especially summertime. Oof. Chef kiss.
The 805 aged in an anejo barrel.
Even better. Yeah.
Had that one time. All right. My 2 beers tonight, Ben. Neither of these are from Tavour, but one is from a brewery that's always on Tavour, and that's Thorn Brewing Company. Mm-hmm. This one, the first one I'm doing is going to be from Thorn right here. This is the And Beyond, the West Coast style IPA, coming in at 7%.
Love it.
Thorn Brewing Company is, where are they out of, dude? I forget where they're from. San Diego. They're from San Diego, California. So San Diego, for those that aren't aware, they have a lot of breweries down there, and all the breweries down there make some great IPAs. Yeah. That's what they all kind of specialize in. So that's going to be my first beer tonight. Very much looking forward to it. Going the IPA route with both of my beers tonight. Last week we went sours. Tonight we're going to go IPA. So very excited for tonight, Ben. Very excited to get into this show as well. So let's hop right into it. Obviously the big thing on the board is the NBA Finals, and we're deep into the NBA Finals now. Golden State tied it up on Friday. Was that Thursday or Friday night? Thursday night.
Friday night.
Was it Friday?
Yep.
Yeah, it was Friday. God, there's so many days in between these games I don't even remember
It's
anymore.
crazy, yeah.
So Golden State ties it up 2-2, heading back to San Francisco. we were on Wednesday night, and I kind of said that this was a must-win game for the Warriors. If this went back to San Francisco 3-1, it was basically
Absolutely.
over. But now I think it's a coin flip. What was your thoughts on Game 4?
I mean, it was the Steph Curry show. I mean, that's really the biggest thing that that I got out of this, and really it almost seemed like there was nothing that he couldn't do that night. I mean, shot over 50%, 50% from the 3-point line, and he really just put it on, and really didn't need Wiggins or Thompson to score. I didn't even say like a decent amount, 17 and 18 points, but he really was taking it, from Boston. And, the times that they did try to double him, he shot around him. And I just don't understand why Boston isn't doing that more. They are they're letting him beat the Celtics. And when the games are tight, when games are close on line like that, I don't think that's the best route to take, is letting Curry beat you.
Well, I mean, in the first half, he was like 2 for 8 from 3. He wasn't like lighting them up. He really did all his damage in the second half.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not what they really wanted to do. Was the Steph and the Warriors are better when Steph is off the ball. That's kind of why you're seeing Draymond become a non-factor, because they're forcing the Warriors to play with Steph handling the basketball. Mm-hmm. That's kind of what they want to do. So I think Boston looked at it like, okay, like he's going to beat us for 41. As long as we contain everybody else, we should be all right. And they did that for the most part. But again, the turnovers come into factor. They were at 4 points with like 6 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, allowed an 8-0 run. And, Golden State kind of never really looked back. And I've been saying this all playoffs long. Like, Boston doesn't have a true point guard. So they get into these lulls where, they don't get good shots. They take bad shots. And we saw a lot of that in the fourth quarter. Like, they were taking early 3-pointers, sidestep 3-pointers, and they were missing them. Golden State was getting the rebound, and that was a big thing from Andrew Wiggins. 18 rebounds. Yep. That was huge. He was huge on the glass. So, I mean, I look at this series still, and like Steph Curry's been amazing, man. Like he was incredible in that Game 4. That's why he's one of the greatest players of all time, because that's what great players do. They carry their teams in moments like this. But I think if you're Boston too, it's like Jason Tatum still hasn't played a good game, and you're tied 2-2. I mean,
I'd say Game 3 was definitely his best game,
but I mean that wasn't even like a good Jason Tatum game. He hasn't even scored over 28 points in this series.
Yeah,
at any time, and I mean some of that's credit to the Warriors, but he's also, like I said, they just get in these lulls where they just take stupid shots, and it's like they do this throughout the whole playoffs, man. Like it's not new. It has been happening a little bit more, but like I said, if you're the Celtics and you look at this, you're like, man, Tatum hasn't even played well. We're tied 2-2. Like, this series could go either, like, we feel comfortable. And I think if you're the Warriors, you look at it the same way as, like, Klay's been inconsistent. Everybody else has kind of been inconsistent, and here we are tied 2-2.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know. It's kind of how I felt about the Bucks-Suns series after, Milwaukee won the 2 games at home. I was like, all right, like Phoenix took care of business at home. Milwaukee took care of business at home. I think both teams are comfortable going back to into Game 5, and it's like whoever wins that Game 5 is going to win the series. And same thing here.
I think you're 100% right on that. And it's going to be interesting to see, does the 9-0 after losing a game record push forward, or does the Warriors 7-1 at home record push forward?
Yep.
And that's something that's really, up in the air. And to be honest, I don't know. I mean, being a Warriors fan, I want the Warriors to win Game 5. I think the Warriors are going to win Game 5, but I'd say that the Boston Celtics team is the strongest that they've played, and probably one of the strongest, if not the strongest, team in the NBA.
Oh yeah. No, the Celtics are the better team for sure. They've been the best team in the NBA since January. Like, that's not even questionable. Yeah. Like, that's how good they've been. But, Curry's an all-time great, dude. And that has really been the difference in the series. You know what I mean? Like, Curry's been better than Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown or anyone else on the Celtics. And that's sometimes a problem when you don't have that superstar. And maybe we thought Jason Tatum was there because he took out Giannis and took out Milwaukee, but maybe we didn't look at that with enough context, and the fact that, like, Middleton didn't play. If Middleton played, do they move on? Miami, same thing. Like, they were really banged up. Tyler Hero missed a couple games. I mean, I still think they beat Miami regardless, but we have to look at it that way. You know what I mean? Like, and this is the first team they faced that's completely healthy.
Yeah. Now I got a question for you, going kind of towards the Draymond Green, factor of this game. He's been absolutely horrible through all 4 games. More fouls than points so far within this series at 18-17, and then gets benched in the fourth quarter in their in their win.
Why they won.
Yeah. Does this light a spark under Draymond to be better? Because, we know that he's able and capable to come out and play incredibly high level basketball.
Do we?
We haven't seen that. Yeah, we've seen him
because
play
Draymond's
that.
never been a scorer, and that's the problem in the series. Is
absolutely
that they're
not a
taking
scorer.
the ball out of his hands, because every time they guard him, every time he has the ball, like, nobody goes within 10 feet of him because they're daring him to shoot. You know what I mean? So they're basically double teaming Steph when he has a ball. That's why it's important for Steph to have the ball in the series, and that's really where the series turned, is when Steph started doing more high pick and rolls with the ball in his hands.
But even as Draymond at maybe 66% game,
he's just no threat on offense
on Friday
other than passing
absolutely.
Curry.
Absolutely. He still had 9 rebounds, 8 assists, 4 steals.
Like, but when it comes to crunch time, he's just not playable, because the Celtics they're basically playing 4-on-5 out there on offense. And Draymond's good on offense because he's a good passer. He's good at fucking passing to Curry and doing dribble handoffs and shit. But the Celtics kind of keyed in on that on game 3, and it's been difficult for Curry in the fourth quarter other than this last game. He had 6 points total in all fourth quarters combined coming into game 4, where he had his best fourth quarter. And what was the biggest difference in there? Draymond wasn't playing.
I mean, Draymond was only out for about 8 of those minutes, 6 to 8 of those minutes.
That's more than half the quarter.
Yeah,
and that's when
absolutely.
Steve Kerr subbed Draymond out. The Warriors went on an 8-0 run right after that, and that was the difference in the game.
Yeah.
Like, Draymond's defense is important, don't get me wrong, but when you are a liability on the offensive end, your defense, there's no defender in the NBA that can make up for that. Like, we see that every year with Utah with Rudy Gobert, right? Like, Rudy Gobert is the best rim protector in the league by far.
Yeah.
But it's like, he gets it. He's useless on offense other than setting screens. You know what I mean? So it helps the defense, and especially in the NBA Finals, like, you're talking about the 2 best teams in the league left standing, and the Boston Celtics have had the best defense. So you're letting them play 5-on-4 on defense. You're only playing into their hand.
Yeah. Yeah. What's Green's over under for points next game?
Probably 8.5 again. That's basically where they said it, but
8.5.
Game 3 was 8.5 juiced to the under, so it was like -125. And then game 4 it was 8.5, but it was heavily juiced. It was like -185 on the under.
Okay.
So you're like paying a premium.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if he's playing 30 minutes, he should easily score like 9 points. That's the problem. It's like, he can't score.
Yeah.
It's not even that he doesn't try. Like, he can't make layups.
He can't make layups.
Jumpers. Like, he can't do nothing.
So, I'd like to see where that is. I was trying to check my bookie for the odds earlier, and they didn't have didn't have it set.
They usually don't put them up till like the day of. Let me see if Action has it up, because they take consensus from like all the books. Let's see.
Yeah.
Here. Let's take a look. Are any player props? Yeah, they do have some up. Points. Draymond Green 6.5. The over juiced -145, under +113.
+113, still not bad.
But 6.5, dude. That's 3 buckets basically.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Maybe his mom's talking shit. Will fucking. It's crazy because Draymond in 2015, he was a 40% 3-point shooter. Like, what the fuck happened to him, dude? Like, one day he just woke up and was like not good anymore, dude. I don't know what happened.
What do we have in the series? Where'd that go? Let's see. In the series, he is shooting from 3. 23. No, that's
I think he's made 1-3 all series.
he has not made a 3 all series.
Are you serious? I thought he made one
No.
in one of the games.
His 3%, his 3-point shooting percentage is at 0. Average of 2.3 shots per game.
Interesting.
Yikes.
Interesting.
Yep.
I was trying to see the odds on MVP because I think if you can, because right now Celtics plus 120 on the series price, right?
Yeah.
If you can get like Tatum to win the MVP at like plus 165 and you like the Celtics, I think that's a better bet than like playing the future price, because if the Celtics are going to win this series, he's going to have to play better.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I mean, I'd almost put money on Jaylen Brown as well.
But that's the thing is like Jaylen Brown's playing well, but if they don't, but if the Celtics are going to win, Tatum has to play better.
That's true.
So he's like, I think he's going to get the MVP by default. At this point for the Warriors, if they win, Curry's the MVP. He could like play like shit the next 2 games. He's still the MVP.
Yeah. It's
pretty crazy. What do you think about the game tomorrow though? Heading home, Warriors open -3.5. It's moved to Warriors -4. The over-under right now, it opened 213 and a half in most books, been bet down to 212. So a lot of money on the under. And Celtics plus 150 on the money line, Warriors -170.
I mean, if we look at the games at how they've been played, just through these first 4, the odd games are going over. The even games are going under. So it would tend to, trend would put this as an over game. I don't know how much money you could actually, or how much you could actually put on that. But the way things are playing, this should be an over game. I do like the Warriors. I'm just thinking that this whole, being undefeated after a loss is going to have to end at some point.
You never want to bet against trends like that, though.
Exactly. Yeah. Which is another trend that, that's just my thought process on this. I don't think I'm going to bet the game, just because I do have emotions in this, and it would be a emotion-filled bet. I do like the Warriors going and taking this game 5. And as I was saying, Warriors in 7, because I think it's going to even up in Boston. I think both of these two, home games get won by the home team, and game 7 is going to be a battle, a major battle.
Yeah. I don't know, like Boston's a better team, but they just, if they had a point guard, things would be a lot different. But I mean, if you're gonna bet, if you like the Warriors, you might as well lay the points. If you like the Celtics, take the money line, because the team that's won every game is covered every game. So
yeah,
you might as well just go with the best value there.
Yep.
I think that trend is real, and Boston's already shown that they can win on the road. It doesn't matter where.
Yeah.
So I mean, I lean Boston money line here. I'm playing Boston money line here only because of that trend I said, is that if the team that wins covers. I just think everyone's counting out the Celtics, and I just think that's very dangerous, because every time they do this, they did this the last 2 series.
I don't think everyone's counting out the Celtics.
Nah, like everybody's counting out
non-Warriors fans.
Even
are
Warriors fans
all on the Celtics.
Nah, no way, because Lakers fans want the Warriors to win. They don't even like the Celtics.
Well, yeah, because they have a hatred of the Celtics. So, okay, Warriors and Lakers fans. Everybody else thinks that Boston is going to win this series.
Nah.
By overwhelming numbers.
A lot of media members are all on the Warriors, and they were saying the Celtics were done after losing game 4. I mean, that was a tough loss for them, because if they won that game, they're in complete control of the series. But, this has happened before, where they've lost control of a series and then end up winning and bouncing back. Yep. They do have, like, crazy resilience, dude, and that's a tremendous ode to their head coach, Ime Udoka.
Yeah.
He's made great adjustments. Like I said, I think that their game plan for last game was good. I just think that their execution was poor, especially in the second half. They've won every fourth quarter except for the last game. They've lost every third quarter. So that's one thing that they have to tightened up there because they won every first half. So it's kind of been a little bit of both, except for game 2. Game 2, they lost the first half, lost the third quarter. That was the whole game. Or game 2. Was that game 2? Yeah.
Yeah, game 2. Yeah.
So I mean, I'm gonna take the Celtics here. Plus, I'm gonna be a little contrarian because all the money's on the Warriors right now. So I'm gonna play Celtics money line.
You want to take the Warriors so bad, you just can't do it. You even said it there.
No, I mean, honestly, if the Warriors win this game, I will bet them heavily in game 6 because I think they win game 6 in Boston. Maybe like the Celtics haven't lost 2 games all playoffs. So like if they lose 2 in a row, like I don't know how that's going to affect them.
Yeah.
It's very defeating.
One thing too that I see is that, you know, Tatum doesn't put 2 straight games like together. And I think he put a better game together this last game and still lost.
He was awful, dude. He was 2 for 17 in the second half. He was terrible.
Yeah, but he's been even worse.
That's what I'm saying. He hasn't played good in this whole series. He hasn't been good.
Yeah, but games 2 and games 4 have been the games that he's played better.
That might be his better games, but that's not good games. He hasn't had a good game this whole series. He has not had a good game that we've seen out of him that we know he's able to play.
Yeah.
He's been awful, dude.
Yeah.
2 for 17 in the second half, and he had like 6 turnovers, and they were nasty turnovers too.
Yeah.
They led to like easy buckets the other way.
Yep. Well, I think that's been a big problem with Boston is that they are turning the ball over way too much.
Because they don't have a point guard. That's why they get into
true.
That's why they get into these stupid lulls where they need, dude, that is like their number one. They have to go out and get in the offseason, dude. Because if they had a decent point guard, like I'm talking decent point guard, like even if they had maybe like even an Eric Bledsoe, dude, maybe not that bad, but a decent point guard. They probably would have won every game in this playoff run.
Yeah.
Because that's why they lose games. They get in, they turn the ball over a ton, and then they fucking just like they can't stop runs sometimes because they get in they play stupid basketball.
Yep. Yeah.
And their head coach is like so good and he's making all these great adjustments, and for some games they can put a whole 4 quarters together. For other games they can't put 4 quarters together.
Yeah. And
they get killed in 1 quarter, and it's cost them the whole game because they get destroyed in it. It's unbelievable, man. But I'm very much looking forward to this game 5. I do think that the winner of this game wins the series for sure.
Yeah,
they will win the series.
I'm thinking so as well.
All right, let's take a little break, real quick, and then we'll hop back in here, talk some Major League Baseball. What else we got to talk about? We got a lot to talk about.
NHL finals. We got best bets.
Oh my god, we got so much to talk about, dude.
We got a lot of stuff. Should we do one more thing before we move forward?
Yeah, what do you want to do?
Take a break. Let's talk hockey. That's only one series really to talk about. So
okay. Well, I mean, we got to talk about what happened in the.
That's true. Okay, then let's talk baseball.
Are you sure you want to talk baseball?
Yeah.
Right now.
I still got a third of a beer left. Yeah.
I know. I still have like a third of a beer left too. Okay.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Let's do baseball.
Let's hop into some baseball. All right, Benjamin. So first I got to talk about first thing I texted you the other day, and I was like, dude, we got to talk about this because this is a great point. And I didn't even think about it, dude, until I saw Manny Machado say, like, why aren't we giving Albert Pujols the going away tour like we gave like Jeter and
Yep.
And who's their closer?
Mariano Rivera.
Why the fuck did I not think about that?
Yep.
But I was like, man, he's absolutely right. Like, why aren't we? And why am I just now, like, why did it take him saying that for me to be like, damn, they are kind of doing Pujols dirty? Because Pujols he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's even only if you play the first 10 years of his career, he's a fucking first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah. And he's played in both leagues for a substantial amount of time, with St. Louis, with the Angels, and did amazing things during that time. I mean, yes, the Angels years weren't as good as his St. Louis years, but he still played great baseball in LA or Anaheim, excuse me. And, did really good things there. Why aren't we? 22 years in this league, over 3,000 games started.
Yeah, no, it's incredible, dude. He's what's his home run number?
Or
Out?
game
He's
plays.
third in home runs, right?
Home runs is sitting at 683.
So he's third or fourth?
Yeah. I think fourth.
I mean, 683 home runs.
That's insane.
You're a top 5 home run hitter in the history of this game.
Yep. 3,321 hits, 2,165 RBIs, an average batting average of over those 22 seasons of 296.
Sure. Dude.
Like, this is easily, like you said, easily Hall of Fame numbers. Will be first ballot, no questions asked. Hasn't been in the the juicing allegations, and and an all-around good guy. I don't think I've ever heard anyone off his team or on his team talk shit about Pujols.
Yeah, for real, man. We got to do better for Albert Pujols.
Yeah,
Major League Baseball, Rob Manfred, you need to get your shit together, because this man deserves all the flowers in the world for sure.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, man. I saw that and I was like, this is absolutely ludicrous, man. Like, this should not be happening.
Yeah.
Let's do our top 5 teams of the week, and then we'll kind of like talk about some of these teams as well, because there's a lot of these teams that we had on our list last week that are no longer on our list. And I mean, this week has been crazy in baseball. This has been a wild fucking week in baseball. So Ben, let's do your top 5 teams of the week.
All right. So last week I had the New York Yankees as number 1, the Mets at number 2, Dodgers at number 3, Houston at number 4, Toronto at number 5. This week I'm going to start with an honorable mention, because I got to say it, because the Giants fucking swept the Dodgers. So honorable mention are the Giants, third in the NL West, whatever. But
man, Giants
if you
aren't
sweep the
even
Dodgers,
top 10 right now.
Yeah, I know, but I gotta say it just because they swept the Dodgers here. So number 5, we're gonna go with another NL West team.
Yeah,
we're gonna go with
trash.
AL West is trash. We're gonna go with the San Diego Padres, 7-3 over their last 10, sitting at 27-20 on the year. Other than the Braves and the Phillies, the Braves are at 10-0 in their last 10. Phillies at 9-1. This team is one of the hottest in the NL, and they just didn't have as big of a hole to dig themselves out of. So I'm really liking where San Diego is sitting. Machado continues to have an MVP season. He's hitting 323, 10 home runs, and 37 RBIs. And then on the other side of the ball, you got Musgrove, who's absolutely killing it. He leads the league in 7 wins. He's tied for first in the league. Leads with 1.5 ERA and a 0.93 WHIP, which is 6 overall in baseball. So with Tatis coming back soon, this team is has the potential to step over the Dodgers as the number 1 team in the West.
Ben, though,
and
they just lost a
NL
series at home to Colorado.
I know.
I think that's the first series all year on the road that Colorado's won.
Yeah, they lost it 2-1. But other than that, you look at their other, that leaves them at 6-1 in those other 7 games. So really doing well in this season. And that leads us into the Dodgers, who are not doing well. They do have a better record at 37-23, but in the last 10, they've gone 4-6. They were just swept by the Giants. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier, but I really don't know what's going on with the Dodgers. They sweep the Diamondbacks, then they get swept by the Pirates. They split with the Mets. They win big in the games that they did win. But then they go to the White Sox 2-1, and now they get swept by the Giants. So it's a very kind of Jekyll and Hyde team. They're losing to the teams that they should be beating, and they're beating the teams that they should be pretty close, if not getting beat by. So they should win their next 3 series coming up to move up next week, but I can't put any faith behind them because they're getting swept by the Giants. They're getting swept by the Pirates. So I don't know where you can really put the Dodgers right now. Best team on paper, not executing these last couple weeks. So Number 3, we're going to go with the Houston Astros. 37-23, same record as the Dodgers, but 5-5 this last week. They're number 6 overall in pitching, 4th overall in hitting, and 1st overall in fielding. So, to have all these 3 categories in the top 10, almost all in top 5, it's it's looking good for Houston.
Yeah, but if you take just their home games, they're like fucking dead last in everything because these motherfuckers cannot hit at home, dude.
They're not hitting well
so
bad
at home,
but they're just absolutely destroying on the road. So
they just lost
that up in a
series
second.
to they lost both series at home this week. One to the Mariners and one to the Marlins.
Yep.
And I'm very bitter against them because I bet them twice this week and they lost both of them, so they can go away.
Bitter. Still top team in the league. And moving up. Number 2, we're going to go with the New York Mets. This was really a subpar, week, 2 weeks for these top teams, except for the Yankees. But New York Mets are going to be my number 2, 5-5 in this last week. 19-8 record at home this year, and only played 42.5% of their games have been at home. So it does leave them a great schedule for the rest of the season. They've got a huge series against the Brewers this week, which I think is going to be another kind of deciding factor on whether they stay in, at least as high as this number 2 position next week. This is going to be an interesting one. I'd go under on all 3 of those games that they're playing against the Brewers, but that's just me there. And that leaves number 1 as the New York Yankees. 9-1 this last out of the last 10, 4 straight this week. We talked about it being the time for the Yankees to take the big lead with the series that they're playing, and they are really doing it. They destroyed the Cubs this weekend, outscoring them 28-5. They won the Twins series 2-1. They didn't kind of outscore them as well, but we did see Nestor Cortez come back down to earth in their first loss to Minnesota. So they've got the Rays, Blue Jays, and Astros. I think they play the Rays twice in their next 4 series. So this is really make or break time for the Yankees. Again, because of these next 4 series, we could see them drop down the list if they don't play well and string together a couple games. But as of right now, they're my number 1 team.
Well, the crazy thing is, like, the Dodgers, like, their slump here is because, like, their pitching isn't good and then they can't hit, or they're hitting really good but they can't pitch. Like, that's how their season is gone in the last couple of weeks. I agree, dude. The Yankees are definitely due for some regression here. I'll get to it when I do my top 5, because my top 5 teams. So I dropped the Astros from the top 5 because you have to be able to win at home to be a top team, dude. You cannot lose 2 series in a row to the Mariners and the Marlins and be a top team on my top 5. So that is not happening. So number 5, we got the Minnesota Twins, 32-24. They had an up and down week. They couldn't hit the Tigers, but then they bounced back. And hold on, I got the wrong list. Hold on, I do have the Minnesota Twins.
Houston's still 16-10 at home.
But dude, their last 2 games haven't been good, and their WRC plus at home, like, they're not hitting well at home. Even their broadcasters, I was watching their game against the Mariners the other day. Their broadcasters are saying, like, it's just so strange. Like, Yordan Alvarez has like a 130 average at home, and he just hit his first home run at home the other day, and he hasn't really done anything since. It's just a weird team right now.
There's only 3 teams in the AL that are doing better than them at home. 1 is tied with them.
Nah.
Yeah.
Are you sure they're 16-10 at home?
Yeah. 16-10 at home.
Nah, they're
21-13 away.
They just lost 2 series at home.
Cleveland is the team that's tied with them, 16-10 at home. Then you've got Minnesota, 20-14. You've got Toronto, 18-10, and you've got the Yankees,
list, by the way,
26-7.
Cleveland's a pretty good team. We talked about it before the season. Now they could be sneaky good.
Those are the only teams that are above them at home.
Record-wise?
Record-wise. And Tampa Bay, sorry, one more. Tampa Bay, 21-13.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm talking like overall. Like, yeah, you can have a good record. Depends on the teams you play, but their hitting numbers are like way down at home. They're like all their home games they won early in the year. Who they beat in those games? Do you have it up?
Let me pull it up here. I have to do it on my computer, not my phone.
Anyways, I'll go back to my list real quick. I got the Minnesota Twins, 35-27. They could have easily taken 2 of 3 from the Yankees, Ben. One of the games they were up 7-2, ended up losing 10-7, and then they took 2 of 3 from the Rays. So they two really good teams they played this week, and they showed that they do belong. Aside from that week, though, number 1 in the week, WRC plus 180, and they will certainly trade for a pitcher at the deadline, and that is their biggest weakness. It'll probably be Frankie Montas. Hopefully they give us Royce Lewis. Anyways, number 4, we got the Atlanta Braves. We're moving the Braves up here. 11 wins in a row, Ben. 34-27 on the year. They got their championship swagger back. I know they've been beating up on bad teams. They played the Pirates, the A's, the Rockies recently. But their starting rotation is really coming around. Kyle Wright, Ian Anderson, Max Fried playing out of their minds, and Acuna is starting to swing the stick, hit 4 home runs this week. So I like the Atlanta Braves moving into the top 5. Number 3, we're going to go Dodgers, 37-23 on the year. Took 2 of 3 versus the White Sox, like you said, get swept by San Francisco. I completely agree. Total Jekyll and Hyde team. They really got to figure it out, especially Walker Buehler and Julio Urias, because they've been fucking god-awful, and they absolutely have to figure it out. Got the New York Mets still number 2, 40-22 on the year. They did get shelled a few times this week. They lost 2 of 3 versus San Diego, and they have the 4th worst ERA in Major League Baseball this week. But they did close it out, taking 2 of 3 from the Angels, and they are ending a long road trip, so I won't hold it against them completely. Plus, we do know their injuries, no Scherzer, no DeGrom, so once they get those guys back, I think they're going to be fine, and their offense seems to be heating up too, so their offense has really been carrying them. Now, can they do that? How sustainable is that? I don't know, but their owner is Stephen Cohen, and the dude got fucking $1 billion gazillion dollars, so they'll figure out ways to make their team better.
Yeah.
Apparently, they have a pitching machine, Ben, which they can set to throw exactly like a pitcher they're going to face.
All teams have that.
Well, I just heard about the Mets. Apparently,
Giants have that too.
Apparently, they didn't use it against Darvish, though, because he almost threw a
That's
perfect
true.
game.
Yeah, very true.
And then number 1, I got the New York Yankees, just like you do, 44-16, just absolutely raking the ball, man. 10 runs over 4 times this week. Took the series on the road against Minnesota, and just absolutely hitting the lights out, man. And it's
11 home runs in that Cubs series.
Bro, the Yankees, the reason why I was saying like there's regression coming with them, Ben, is because the other day on Saturday they scored 6 runs. All 6 runs came on solo home runs.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like at some point the ball ain't gonna fly out the park. And then how are they going to manufacture runs? Because they can't really do that very well. And then their pitching is starting to come down to earth this week. You know what I mean? Like Nestor Cortez came down. Their starting rotation ERA is about middle of the pack this week. And that's really where they've been hanging their hat on. So there's just some regression coming, dude. And I think you're right. It could be this stretch of games because they're actually playing like – and I don't want to take anything away from Minnesota. That was a great series win for the Yankees because Minnesota that was a phenomenal game 3. And Joey Gallo's starting to hit the ball pretty well too.
Yep.
But who knows? I think there's gonna be some regression.
Yep.
It was hard to make my list this week because there was like 4 or 5 teams that I could really put at
in that
5
4 or 5 spot.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Agreed.
I was like, dude, like how am I gonna go with this? So I just went with the Braves because they're the hottest, and then the Twins because they're in first place.
Yep.
But
yeah,
man,
so let's go back to Houston. They've got they started the year not well at home. They lost the series to the Angels 2-1. They lost the series to Toronto 2-1. They come back and sweep Seattle 3-0, sweep Detroit 4-0, win 3-1 against Texas, win 2-1 against Cleveland, lose 2-1 against Seattle, and lose 2-1 against Miami.
That's crazy because if you look at their splits, their home road splits, like they're much better road team, like hitting and
absolutely
than they are on the road. I mean, then
it's going to be they've got Chicago and New York at home coming up in in the next couple weeks, in the next week. So Friday they start a series for Chicago. Dog. Yeah, the White Sox, and then they go 2 on Tuesday and Wednesday against the Mets.
Ben, the White Sox are broken.
Yeah, that's true.
The White
They
Sox
still have potential though.
Bro, imagine having on Wednesday, you have the Chicago White Sox money line, first 5, and they were an underdog.
Yeah.
And you're up 5-0 going into the 5th inning, and you end up losing that bet.
Yeah.
Because that's what happened.
Yeah.
All because
It's
of an error.
rough. It's definitely rough. Yeah.
The White Sox, and then I don't know if you watched that game, Ben, but Tony La Russa 1-2 count on Trey Taylor, and he intentionally walks him to get to Max Muncy, and Max Muncy hits the grand slam.
Yep. Yeah, and that's when you get the fire La Russa chance.
Dude, you think they're gonna fire him?
I mean, yeah, probably yes.
Nah, there's no way they fire Tony La Russa, Hall of Famer. They're gonna fire him in the middle of the season?
Yeah, probably. I mean, I know that injuries are playing a big part of this, but minus 56 and run differential, playing 13-17 at home, 14-14 away.
I mean, you could blame injuries, but I think when he made that decision to intentionally walk a guy when he's up in the count 1-2.
Yeah.
When
you're up in the count too.
That was like, all right, what the fuck is he doing, dude? Like, is he
early on
delusional, dude?
Coming in.
Is his old age coming in? Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, who does that? There's no analytical play in the world that would tell you to walk a guy up 1-2 is a smart play with 2 outs.
Let's see who's Chicago got in their next maybe like 3 to 5 series that could really make or break.
Their second half of the year is cake.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see their schedule coming up. They have got Detroit, Houston, Toronto, Baltimore, LA, the Angels, and then San Francisco. So if they don't win I'd say probably 3 of those series could be done.
It could very well be done. Man, I haven't checked the updated numbers, but on like Monday, they were still the favorite to win the division, even though they weren't the leader.
They're 6 games back now. I don't know if that's going to happen.
Yeah, but Minnesota, they got to get another starting pitcher because their rotation is fucking Dylan Cease and Chichi Gonzalez. I'm sorry, bro, but you can't start those dudes every 4th and 5th day.
Yeah.
You're going to, at some point, it's going to cost you. Or I'm sorry, I said Dylan Cease. I meant Dylan Bundy. Yeah. Dylan Bundy and Chichi Gonzalez. It's not going to work, dude. So they got to trade. They got to trade for Frankie Montas and give up Royce Lewis.
Yeah.
I would do it.
Pulling up their second half of the season, of course.
I think they play each other a lot, the Twins and White Sox.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they're going to play each other 19 times. And I only think they played like 3 times already this year. It's like the Astros, dude. The Astros are so lucky because they still have to play the A's like 16 more times, dude.
Yeah.
16 W's.
Yeah.
That you can just like automatically count.
Put in there, yeah. Let's see. Minnesota, they play 6 more games in the first half. And then second half, they've got, come on, interwebs. Here we go. 3, 6, 9 games in the second half of the season.
Dude, Ben,
so
another team we didn't even talk about is the fucking Brewers, dude.
Yeah.
Bro, they are in an Angels-like tailspin.
Yeah.
They can't pitch all of a sudden. Their rotation sucks. They can't hit. I mean, we knew they couldn't hit to begin with.
They're batting, yeah, exactly. But even that's gone downhill.
Dude, they're a fucking mess, dude.
Yeah, it is not pretty there.
Lost 2 or 3 to the Nationals, dude.
Yeah.
Can't do that. And then they have the Mets coming up on Tuesday. They got a series against the Mets on the road, too.
Yeah, that's going to be...
The Cardinals have taken over first place. I think the good thing for the Brewers is that the Cardinals are like so inconsistent at the plate, dude. Like,
yeah.
Other than Paul Goldschmidt, they're not really getting much out of that offense.
2-8 in their last 10.
Yeah, dude. Bro, they were on a 6-game losing streak until today.
Yeah.
They won.
Yep.
Jason Alexander on the mound. He's got some regression coming too. He's getting pretty fucking lucky.
Yeah. Yep.
And then the Marlins are hot. Marlins won 5 in a row before losing today to the Astros. Man, there's a lot of teams that the Phillies are hot since they fired Joe
Phillies are-
Girardi.
Yep.
Lost today,
Phillies
won
are
6 in a
way
row,
hot.
and then lost today.
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk about that game a little bit later, but let's take a break real quick. We'll hop right back in here. We'll talk about the Stanley Cup championship, and we'll kind of recap the conference finals because we haven't talked Eastern Conference Finals since Game 7. So,
yeah,
I'm sorry, Game 6. We'll hop right back in here. Stay locked with us. Stay little. We'll be right back. What's up? We are back. Welcome back. Thank you for giving us a little break there. Man, Ben, we gotta talk about before we get into the NHL Stanley Cup Finals. We gotta talk about our second beer. I'm about to pour my second beer.
Nice. Second beer of the night. So since you're pouring your beer, I'm gonna go with my beer first. I'm drinking the Cali Craft Cool Kids. So Cali Craft is a brewing company out of Walnut Creek, California. They've got a lot of really good beers. I'm super impressed by this brewing company. Their Kolsch is probably one of the best Kolsches I've ever had. And I think I did review that probably a couple months ago. The first time I went to that brewery. So this was definitely one that I had to go to when I passed by it in Walnut Creek this weekend. But this is a double dry hopped hazy IPA coming in at 6.6%. Great can art too. Love it. Kind of 80s throwback.
Fuck yeah, dude. That's sick.
Late 80s, early 90s font there. So super, super cool can. And again, just really impressed with this brewery. I think they have like 14, 15 beers on tap.
Damn, 14 or 15 beers on tap.
Yeah.
That's pretty
maybe I'm being high about that. Maybe 10. There was a really good amount of beer. A lot of beers that I didn't try that I wanted to. And, they can probably 6 of them. So
nice.
Yeah.
That's always good. Hell yeah, dude. Very much looking forward to that. My second beer is from New Glory Craft Brewery. They're out of Sacramento, California. This is the Do You Even Mosaic, bruh? West Coast IPA.
Nice. We've had one of the Do You Even before. Yeah. Not the Mosaic, but one of those before.
We have had one of those. New Glory, they make a lot of they do good IPAs. I have mixed feelings about them. I've had a lot.
Yeah.
I've had some good beers. I've had some bad beers, but looking forward to this one. I've actually never been to the brewery, so a lot of the beers could taste different, like straight from the source. But so, I mean, the aroma of this one's great. So
Nice.
very much looking forward to this.
I haven't been to New Glory either. I do go up to Sac every so often, so I should definitely try that out next time I'm there.
I've been to Belching Beaver.
Yeah.
And I've been to it's the one in Auburn.
Knee Deep,
No, there's another one.
Crooked Lane.
Maybe it was Crooked Lane.
Crooked Lane's a really cool brewery. They bought an old car dealership that went out of business, and they put their brewery in there. It's a super good brewery.
It was in Oak Grove. I don't know, somewhere in the Sacramento area, but it wasn't like exactly Sacramento.
Yeah,
I'll remember it sometime. I got like fucking, my grandma had Alzheimer's. I probably have early onset Alzheimer's too. So
there's so many breweries. It's tough to
there's a lot of
to know them all
in that area.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the Stanley Cup Finals, man. So we were both really high on the Rangers coming out of that Carolina series.
Yep.
I did say, however, I said it on the podcast.
We're gonna have to go back to tape. I don't know.
Nah, because I don't know if you were on the show. It might have been me and Irvin.
Okay.
But I said, I was like, if the Rangers lose Game 3, they lose the series.
Oh yeah, no, that was to me, and I agree
with
you on that. Yeah, I definitely agreed with you on that
because they just had so much momentum, dude. And in the way they lost Game 3 when they were up 2-0,
I think it was Game 4.
No, Game 3 they lost 2-0, and then I say Game 4 they have to win, must win. If they lose that, the series is over.
Yeah,
because of the way they lost Game 3, and ended up really being that way too. They didn't score a single 5-on-5 goal.
Yeah,
since game, what was that, 2 or
Game
3?
2.
Game 2. I think it was Game 3. Game 3.
They might. Oh no,
Game 3 they scored 2 power play goals. It was game.
Yeah.
You're right. Game 2, 5-on-5 goal.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, things really changed. Tampa Bay really locked up defensively. New York, we obviously knew they had some offensive troubles, but they were really hot coming into that series.
Yeah. They had some major injuries at the end of the series, which really put them even further down. Which
they did.
Yeah, I don't think you could come off of losing 2 of your top 3 centers.
In game 6, Igor Shesterkin was great, phenomenal.
Yep. They still couldn't win.
Like, Tampa should have had like 6 goals if it wasn't for Igor.
Yep.
And he was shutting them down, and really, I mean, it's tough for the Rangers because they had a great season, a great run. And it's really one of those like runs that you like love to see as a fan, especially as like a casual NHL viewer, because I'm not a big NHL guy, but such a great story because they were just an underdog, dude. You know what I mean? And they were winning, and Igor was standing on his head, and it was some phenomenal shit. But Tampa Bay, heart of champions, Ben.
Yep, absolutely. If there was one team that could do it, it was going to be Tampa Bay. That could take out that team who was, hot at the right time and had a goalie who was standing on their head. I mean, and they did.
Vasilevsky. I mean, I wouldn't even say he was the best goalie of that series because Igor was really good. The Rangers just couldn't score.
Yep.
But
absolutely. And I think that was more of the defensive prowess that the Lightning.
Yeah, they weren't giving him good shots at all.
Yeah, as well as the Rangers have a good offense. I don't think they have a great offense. I think this is going to be something that we really see a difference in the level of offenses between what we see with Colorado putting it up against Tampa Bay versus what the Rangers are putting up with Tampa Bay.
The same thing Colorado, on the defensive side too, though, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Although you could say St. Louis has a great defense.
Yeah. Colorado, I think, has they're kind of the double-edged sword on the offensive side because they have defense that steps up and can score goals, and their defense is fast, which is going to be a really interesting to see how the Tampa Bay really adjusts from what they did in that the Rangers series and kind of stopping their defense from putting up any points to a team that really has a offensive defense, two offensive defensemen that can really put up points and can skate.
Don't you think if you're Tampa, like you're kind of going into this series like, holy shit, like last series we like struggled to score goals. Now we have to score goals. Like if we don't score goals, there's no way we're gonna win this series.
Yeah.
Like, how do you think that like that mental like difference between, because against the Rangers, it's like, okay, we just need to score 2-3 goals and we win this series.
Yeah.
You cannot have that same mindset against the Colorado Avalanche, because if
they
you
have to put up 4 to 5.
Yeah, you got to put up 4 or 5 goals to win.
Yeah.
To win these games. So, how do you think the mindset changes? Because they didn't put up a ton of goals against Florida either.
Well, I think it's the mindset changes is that you have to hope that Vasilevsky plays at the the top level quality goaltender that he is, that he doesn't get in his head, that he doesn't get hurt, and you have to know that with your defense pinching in, you're going to allow more goals because that offense is, you're going to be taking more chance on offense to get those higher goal numbers. But is your defense, is your goalie going to keep you in the game to allow those offensive chances to to be created? You're going to get a lot of odd man rushes, and that's something that I'm really afraid of with Colorado, is that they can score on every single odd man rush, and they can have the defensemen, because they're so fast, jump in and score those goals.
What do you think of or before I ask that question, is Kadri playing? Do we know?
I read Kadri and Cogliano both could make appearances in this series. I don't think they'll start probably game 1 or game 2, but maybe 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. They are both skating without sticks, but they're skating. So it's going to be interesting there. Cogliano is definitely just a depth veteran that can definitely help.
No, it's more Kadri, but at the same point,
but
Brady
I worry
Point's
about
not
Kadri.
playing.
What's that?
Brady Point's not playing.
Braden Point is not playing. Yeah, he is still out. So Kemper is full practice now.
Francois was nice.
Francois played well too, and I think that's something that you can also kind of point towards Anaheim, the Avalanche here in this series. You have not seen a single minute from Brian Elliott in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Vasilevsky has played every single second.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, they don't want to see Elliott. If you're
well, absolutely. But what happens if Vasilevsky gets hurt? What happens if
they're fucked? If the Vasilevsky gets hurt, they're absolutely fucked.
You've got a cold goaltender who hasn't played in
not only that, because
4 weeks.
The difference between the Avalanche and the Lightning is, I think with Francois, like, you're like, okay, I have a great offense, so I don't have to like go out and pitch a shutout. You know what I mean? So he plays more loose and stuff. Yeah. If you're Elliott on Tampa Bay, it's a little different. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like, okay, I need to play really good against a really good offense for my team to have a chance to win.
Yeah.
Because Tampa is not going to put up. They're not as good offensively as Edmonton.
Yeah.
Or Colorado.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you look at it. Darcy Kemper 6-2 with a 2.65 goals against and a 0.897 save percentage. Francois has a 6-0 record, 2.86, so a little more goals against, but a 0.906 save percentage and a shutout.
Yeah.
So either of those goaltenders can come in and play really good hockey.
Yeah, no, Colorado. I like Colorado. I don't know if I'll lay the -190 though. Although it might be good because they could easily win game 1 and that price is going to shoot up. They could win the first 2 games. That price is really going to shoot up. Because honestly, I'm obviously not a hockey guy per se, but Ben, I like Colorado in this series in 5 games.
I'd probably go 6. I don't think you can count Tampa Bay out because of the best goaltender in the league.
We've said that every series, but I mean, honestly, they should. Dude, how pissed you got to be if you're the Maple Leafs right now, dude?
Oh, absolutely. But again, I also think just like the NBA is pushing this to go 7 games, I think the NHL is going to push this to go.
I mean, let's get out of the conspiracy theories. Like,
yeah,
there's no way to prove all that. and the officiating was pretty fair in the NBA Finals in Game 4.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And I feel like officiating is a little more tougher to I guess that's not true because you can cause power plays and stuff.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like in Game 6, dude, there was only like 2 power plays in the whole game.
Yeah.
I think we're going to see way less power plays.
Yeah. These are 2 smart teams. These are 2 teams, and usually in the playoffs, you do see less fouls. You see less fouls, less power plays, less less issues with teams playing on shorthanded or with the extra skater there. So
Just sad
And-
the playoffs are coming to an end.
yeah, this has been a
Both.
great year. And talking about the power play and penalty kill, like the way that these 2 teams break down over the series is I don't see a clear winner here. I mean, you talk about power play, you've got Tampa Bay at 22.6%, but you've got Colorado at 31.1%. So Colorado wins the power play, but the penalty kill goes towards Tampa Bay at 82.5 compared to 75.7. So, I don't think you can really call the clear winner on who's going to, at least at this point, on who's going to win the that extra skater time.
Well, I'll tell you who's going to win. That's going to be Colorado if they get more power plays.
That's true. Yeah, you're gonna have to be very why can't I think of the right word? Cognizant of
Yeah,
you got to play smart hockey.
Tampa can't get into the penalty.
You can't get in
box,
trouble.
dude.
Yeah.
Colorado killed a lot of Edmonton penalties.
Yeah.
Which makes me a lot more confident in Colorado's power play kill than it does Tampa Bay's power play kill.
I mean,
I just think
Kucherov and
Colorado's the
Stamkos
better
are no
team.
joke, but when you're playing McDavid, Draisaitl, and Kane,
Now that all my futures are off the board, Ben, I'm 100% objective here.
I told you shouldn't have taken that bet.
Well, I mean, dude, I just threw a few shekels on Edmonton in January. It was, Connor McDavid, and it made it pretty far, dude. Made it to the Western Conference Finals before.
It wasn't as big of an oil spill this year.
And
So.
then I had the Rangers, but I mean that was like a light future because I put it on after the Carolina game. So
Yeah.
really, I was just banking on them winning the fucking Eastern Conference Finals, which obviously didn't happen.
Yep.
So now it's a wash. So now I'm basically gonna bet the games, maybe depending on the lines. I'll probably play it in game because I've found more success in game with the NHL this year.
Yep.
Except for I had over 3.5 goals live for Tampa, New York, because they scored a lot in the third period, right? So I took it in the second period. And then New York doesn't even pull their goalie, dude. They don't even pull Shesterkin until like under a minute left, dude, in a must-win game. I was like, oh, this is fucking just my luck, dude. This is how it goes. But then Wang Zhili wins by knockout 70-1, which fucking covered everything I lost for that day, thank God.
There we go. Yeah, Avalanche they're just too good.
Yeah, not way too good.
And I'm kind of okay with them being too good. Like of all the Western Conference teams,
yeah, it's
to
like
be
the
really
one
good.
I least hate. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's like the least
Exactly.
hateful
I'm
one.
okay with it. So I'll take it.
Them or Seattle?
Yeah, Seattle's got a long way.
Let's go, y'all.
They do, but they'll get there. And I always got love for Seattle because I live there. So
Yeah.
Seattle's always going to be a second home to me. But Ben, let's move on to our best bets of the day. Let's get some best bets for the people. So, what do we got this week? You went 2-0 last week, didn't you?
I went 1-1.
Oh, you went 1-1.
1-1. Yeah, Nathan McKinnon did get his goal, but Rantanen only had, I think, one shot that final game there. So my over 3.5 shots did not hit. But we're gonna go 2-0 this week because I am really liking these lines here. The first is we're gonna go basketball here. We're gonna go Golden State Warriors third quarter -1.5. Golden State's been the best third quarter team all season long, and they've really put things into perspective here in this finals series. You look at game 1, they outscored Boston 38-24. Game 2, 35-14. Game 3, a little bit closer, was 33-25, and game 4 was a little bit closer there, 30-24, but still 6-point difference there. So we are going to go Golden State Warriors third quarter -1.5. They really make those adjustments at halftime and come out strong. So we're going to run with that. And second bet we're going to make is we're going to go Houston first 5 at -0.5 a run. Houston is they aren't hitting lefties as well. They're going to be going up against Hearn tomorrow, but they really have hit Hearn really well in their 2 appearances this year. So we're looking at that. The last time Hearn pitched against Houston, he went 4 2/3 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs, 2 walks and 2 strikeouts. First time that he pitched, he went 5 innings, 5 hits, 4 runs, and a walk and 4 strikeouts. So I really think Houston can take this game, and we're going to go first 5 -0.5 a run. And it is who do we have on the hill here?
Christian Javier.
Yeah, Christian Javier is going to be on the hill, and he has been pitching very well.
Coming off a terrible start, though.
Yeah, but he's been pitching well over the season, so I'll take it.
He is, and he's been good at home except for his last start. That was a bad start, so you're really hoping for a bounce back. I think it's a good spot for a bounce back too.
Yep.
My 2 best bets of the week, I'm going Marlins first 5 money line against the Philadelphia Phillies. These are 2 hot teams, both coming off an L, and both teams are sending their best pitchers to the hill. I like Sandy Alcantara here, who's coming in sporting a 1.61 ERA, and he is one of the Cy Young favorites in the NL and has only allowed 1 run in his last 33 innings pitched. And before that one run, he went almost 18 full innings pitched without allowing a run. So Sandy Alcantara is one of the best pitchers in Major League Baseball. Aaron Nola, on the other hand, he's been good, but at home he's sporting a 4.41 ERA and he's given up 7 home runs in 34.2 innings. And the Marlins are second in WRC plus versus right-handed pitching. So give me the Marlins first 5 money line here at plus value. And then we're going to go Celtics money line plus 150. Celtics are 9-0 off a loss in the postseason. Haven't lost back-to-back games since September. So I'm just riding that trend, really. That's all I'm doing. And then I got a bonus bet here, which you're going to love, Ben.
Oh, I do.
Stanford Cardinal minus 1.5 against the UConn Huskies tomorrow to head to the College World Series. Stanford really took it to UConn's best pitcher, who's their closer. They scored 6 runs in the 9th inning. They also beat the shit out of the bullpen today a little bit. They made a reliever throw 72 pitches. So I think Stanford's going to be well rested. UConn's bullpen's a little worn out. Brock Jones, if you have not watched him, he's going to be a first-round pick. He's an absolutely amazing baseball player. Stanford is an incredible team. They have a ton of speed, a ton of power, and they play excellent defense behind their pitchers. So give me Stanford Cardinal minus 1.5 runs.
Doesn't hurt that they're playing at home, too.
Yeah, I mean, they lost the first game, which I thought they were going to win by a gazillion points, too. But they're the much better team. Like, they should absolutely not lose to UConn. Like, if they lose to UConn, it's an embarrassment.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, number 2 in NCAA. You shouldn't be losing. So
and for all the right reasons. I mean, that's a great baseball team they got.
Oh, absolutely. There. Yep. All position players have been good, if not great, this year.
Like almost our whole team rakes too, dude.
Yeah.
And that's like rare. Like if you look at Oregon State, who's a good team, they got like a bunch of dudes that are hitting like 211 and shit. Yeah. Like Stanford doesn't have that because they all have, if they don't hit well, they have speed, so they can just fucking like beat out infield singles and shit.
Yeah. Do we have 2 games tomorrow? Did Oregon State win?
Oregon State did win. They ended up winning 4-3. In the 9 innings, they won 4-3. So we have 2 games tomorrow: Oregon State versus Auburn, and Stanford versus UConn to get the last 2 spots in the College World Series.
Yep. Stanford plays at 4. Oh no, Stanford plays at 1.
Damn, day game on Monday?
Yep. 1:00 game on Monday on ESPN2. And then Auburn, Oregon State plays at 4:30.
Oh, also, if you're going to bet these games too, also look to the unders, because in all these games today, when there was an elimination game, except for Oklahoma and Virginia Tech all went under. Every single one.
Interesting.
Nice. So the under is good.
All right, so let's get 5 wins there. Definitely think we can do that, and we're gonna head out of the sports aspect of the podcast. We're gonna turn back to beer. So why don't you tell me about your 2 beers?
So the Thorn, that one was good. The And Beyond, the West Coast style IPA. I'll show the can one more time for the people. That one was good. That was like a true West Coast IPA. Very earthy feeling, very earthy taste. I really enjoyed that one. It was nice, crisp, and light too. So it wasn't like you were drinking a heavy IPA. Didn't feel like it. I would drink it again. I would buy it again. So I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5. The second one, the New Glory here, I'm about halfway down with it. This one is as far as like a West Coast, it does have like a very hoppy taste to it as well. I love Mosaic hops too, so this one was easy to drink. Smells good. The color's good. You saw the pour. The head was good.
Yep.
So, I mean, I would definitely drink this again. I would buy it again. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5 as well.
Nice.
Definitely,
yeah.
they're not the best IPAs I've had, but they're good.
There we go.
How are yours, Ben?
Mine was good. Glad I got that sneeze out right before I started talking there. So we're gonna start with the Dust Bowl. That was sorry, I guess the Taco Truck Lime Lager. That was from Dust Bowl out of Monterey, California. This was the 4.7%. This was the kind of lime, salt and lime Mexican lager, and I'm going to give this one a 3.75 out of 5, just because I am comparing it to the 805 Cerveza, which is a really good beer. I thought this one was just a little too limey, a little too salty there. It really kind of distracted from the flavor of the beer instead of, what we see in the Cerveza, which really is just kind of a good addition to the beer. It was good. I would drink it again. I'd probably not go out of my way to find it, but if it was there, I would definitely buy this beer again.
So you wouldn't drive to Monterey to buy it?
Yeah, I do want to try this on tap. I did not try this when I tried a pale ale while I was up there having lunch. So I would like to try this on tap to see if there's any difference within the canning kind of process put on this beer. But it was good. Definitely drink worthy. I got a 12-pack of it, so I can't wait till these hot days to kind of really go at it and, have a nice cold, crisp taco truck. The second beer that I had was the Cool Kids Hazy IPA. This was from Calicraft. This is double dry hopped with Idaho 7 and Citra hops. You can definitely taste the Citras, kind of really that fruity and really pungent smell of the Citra. So great smell, great aroma, great mouthfeel on it. It's not one of those hazies that you feel like you're, chomping on a loaf of bread while you're drinking it. So it was a very kind of light hazy coming in at 6.6%. This is one that you can definitely drink and enjoy a few of these. So I'm going to give this one a 4.25 out of 5. It was wonderful. I saw this last year in supermarkets, but I haven't seen it this year in supermarkets. So I'm hoping it does get. What's that?
Might have been like a one-time thing.
Yeah, hoping that the distribution does continue and it does get kind of, mass produced out to people, because this is a really good beer. I highly suggest it for anyone in the Bay Area if you're going through Walnut Creek to stop at Calicraft and try their Kolsch and try their Cool Kids Hazy IPA. Calicraft is turning into one of my favorite Bay Area breweries.
To all of our bougie listeners that go to Walnut Creek.
Hey. If you're from the South Bay and you're driving up to Tahoe, driving up to Sacramento, it's on your way. So definitely make that stop. It is well worth it. And they always have a good
make
good
that
food
stop
truck
on
out
a
there.
4-hour road trip.
Exactly. Buy some road sodas. Driving. Yeah. Get tired after drinking some beer.
However, we do not support drunk driving. Do not drink and drive. Call an Uber. What Ben just said, eat lunch.
Yeah, there's food trucks there. Have a beer or two while you're eating food.
While you're eating food, and then take some beer to go. Ben, you're gonna get us in trouble, dude. People are gonna be like, "Yo, they told me to come here and drink some beer, and then go to Tahoe."
Beer or two while you're having food, you're fine. I wouldn't go more than that, but a beer or two, you're okay.
Technically, they say I don't know who they is, but they say a beer an hour, Ben.
Yeah.
So
There you go.
Who
Plus
who
you
stops for 2
insert some food in
hours?
there. Plus you insert some food in there. Golden.
I mean, I don't know if they said anything about food. If they have a report on it,
Yeah.
Google
But-
they report on beer and food.
But otherwise, this is a good beer. I definitely liked it. Go to Calicraft.
God, I love that laugh, dude.
Yeah.
So
All right,
glad.
but thank you everybody for checking out the podcast. Make sure to go to taproomsportspodcast.com. Check us out on Instagram at taproomsportspodcast. You can check us out on Twitter at taproom_sports. You can check out Jordan's, which is at Jordan Rules TSP.
Yes,
We are
yes.
coming at you 4 times a week. So our Sunday night shows that air on Monday, obviously it's Jordan and I. If you go to Tuesday nights, you're going to have Steady Eddie Martin and Irving Jordan.
Monday nights.
Sorry, Monday nights, airing on Tuesday. You're going to have...
airs on Monday. Available on the podcast on Tuesday.
That's true.
Getting
You're going
all
to have
fucked
Steady
up,
Eddie
man.
Martin and Swervin' Irvin joining Jordan. I am back on Tuesday nights, airing on the podcast on Wednesday.
Yes.
And then usually it's going to be Jordan, Steady Eddie, and Swervin' Irvin on Wednesday. I'm going to start joining a couple Wednesdays because that is a ton of fun.
we got
we
got football coming up here, baby.
Oh yeah, cannot wait for football to start. So I will be joining up more, especially once I get this move done and over with. So
Yep.
we'll be there.
Monday nights, by the way, to everybody listening, Monday nights, we are going to start previewing college football in a couple weeks. I think not this week, but the week after. We're gonna do.
I will not be there.
We're gonna do 7 of the Power 5 conferences. Irvin and I breaking down every college football conference, over under win totals, futures, Heisman totals when they come out, all that good stuff. So you're definitely want to tap into that if you're into college football.
Oh yeah. All right, guys, and with that, we will see you tomorrow,
Yes, yes.
or you'll see me on Tuesday.
Enjoy Game 5. Let's go Celtics.
Go Dubs.